In my last video, I was walking around with my dog after going to the vet, and I started talking about my background. I got up to when I graduated college. I got a degree in liberal studies. I always say that was a bad move. It adds very little to your resume. One girl in college was a foreign exchange student. She was moving back to Europe in a short time, so I decided after seeing her for like, 2 dates maybe, tops, I would go study abroad in Spain. Well, of course that didn't last any longer really, so I ended up going to study abroad in Spain anyway, in the south of Spain, a place called Murcia, or in the Spanish tongue you call it Murcia. With my traveling kayaking high school, I had these adventures, and we went abroad, and I thought of myself as an expert traveler. So when I went to Spain like 3 weeks before school started, so I could travel down the coast by myself, sit in some hostels, meet some people, have a good time. I kind of did, I had a good time. But there was this funny experience where I tried like 3 times to catch a train from Barcelona to Valencia, and I missed it like 3 times in a row right off the bat. Wasted a bunch of money on these tickets, and then couldn't figure out which train was going when, and didn't ask anyone because I'm quiet. So I just missed the train, bought another ticket, tried again, missed the train, bought another ticket, tried again. Finally, I found the right train that was going to Valencia at the right time. As it approached Valencia, I didn't know when the stop was. It just said, the conductor guy that came around and checked tickets looked at mine and said, all right, you'll be arriving in Valencia at about 9 p.m. or something, 11 p.m. I think. So it was like 5 minutes to 11 p.m. And I thought, oh, this must be it, because the train stopped. And you know what? It wasn't it. So I hopped out of the train. No one else got off. It was in the middle of nowhere. They had to make a stop there for some reason. Maybe somebody was getting on. I don't know. I just left. And I was in the wrong city. I guess 5 minutes by train from Valencia, but I didn't know what to do. So I walked through the train station. Some security guard way off saw me and ran over thinking something was wrong. I was some terrorist or something. Spooked him. I explained I fell asleep on the train. I woke up at the wrong stop. See, I lied. I don't like to do that. But I didn't want to tell him that I was stupid. He laughed at me and he said, oh, okay, well, good luck. And I said, I mean, I didn't want to go look for a hostel at that point. I didn't know where I was. So I asked him, is there a beach nearby? Maybe I could just go walk around on the beach for 6 hours, hang out, stay up, and then figure out what I'm doing in the morning. And he smiled and said, yeah, there's a beach. Just follow this road. Keep walking, you'll end up at the beach before long. That's what I thought he said. Then I'm in my flip-flops with my suitcase. I start walking down this random road, and it gets out into the middle of nowhere. Nothing around, pitch dark. I can't see anything for miles, it seems. I walk for like 2.5, 3 hours in flip-flops. Everything's killing me. And yeah, finally I arrived at the ocean, but it was not a place to hang out. It was ship docks. There was no beach. There was no place to sit. It wasn't a public place. It was like just random ocean side of the country, not developed for tourists. So horrible. I saw this woman I think there were some like expensive boat parties happening on boats maybe nearby, but these people left one. It was like 2 in the morning, you know? So these people left a boat party. I saw this guy rob a woman of her purse, and I was too far away to catch up. I kind of jogged over like, oh no, oh no, oh no, your purse. And then he was gone. I couldn't chase him down in my flip-flops with a suitcase. This night was getting worse and worse. Finally, I think I'm just gonna walk back to the train station at this point. There's nothing for me here. I can't sit down anywhere. There's no places like that. Just traveling this blank country road in the middle of Spain, and it was like the day after I had arrived. Anyway, by the time the sun came up and I got on a bus, all I had done was walk all night.
Hi, Jesse.
Hey, Courtney.
Are you calling me?
Yeah.
Oh, don't pull my camera wheel.
No, I won't do that.
Beautiful flowers.
Yes, it is. Just like you. Anyone who travels alone to a distant country for an extended period of time ends up having lots of great adventures. That's why they say you learn a lot. And you do. So that happened to me. And when I came home, I finished school in another year. And that's when I graduated with a liberal studies degree. Didn't know what to do. In 2009, videography wasn't such a ubiquitous skill like it is nowadays, with ultra good cameras in almost any household that has any interest in it, apart from the fact that cell phones are better than the cameras were for consumers anyway back then. At the time, I had some camera skills, so I decided to start an LLC and did freelance videography work around my hometown for a couple of years. Then one day, my friends from college called me up and said they got a permit to go rafting down the Grand Canyon of Arizona. So I went. Among the passengers of the trip down the Grand Canyon was this girl, the sister of one of my friends. Along the trip, we hit it off, kind of got together, and on a trip like that, that sort of magic can happen. So about a month after, I moved back to Montana to be with that girl. A year later, we went to the courthouse and got married. In developing our relationship that first year, I was trying to figure out, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I was working odd jobs around Montana, like I didn't have a college degree. So I figured I would apply for graduate school. There are 2 places in the United States I could get in-state tuition. My home state, New Mexico, or Montana. So I applied to both of those. I was granted admission to the University of New Mexico for graduate school in public administration. The problem is, that girl wanted to go to graduate school as well, but didn't have in-state tuition to New Mexico. So we decided she could snag it via marriage. Great idea, great idea. Rather than move to New Mexico, rent a house, we bought one. We bought a house and got married in the same month after a year of being together. It was great. We didn't have a bad breakup at all. But it ended just as I finished graduate school. So there I was again, with another degree and an empty home, just out of a serious relationship no prospects, no idea what I'm doing. So I decided I need to rent out the house that we bought together because I still lived there. She left. First guy that applies to rent a room in my house. Great dude. He works for a conservation group here in New Mexico. He said, before long I could get a job there. And so I did. That was pretty awesome. I was a crew leader for a conservation corps. The stuff where you see young people out with tools like this, building trails, cleaning up the forest. Donald Trump would want you to sweep, but we figured these would work better. So lucky guy that I am, with my master's degree, I got a good job, a real adult job. At that job, you had to have a high-level security clearance with the federal government. And in the process of getting that clearance, after I was hired and worked there for a couple months, they found a snag. I admitted that I had tried doing drugs in the past. So there goes my one big shot at an adult career. I figured I'm just gonna go to Chile, maybe for good this time, because I had really liked it before. I went to Chile when I was in high school with a kayaking high school. So I decided after getting my adult job, I would save up for 5-10 years and then try to move there. Well, that adult job ended way sooner than I thought. So I figured, well, maybe that's the so-called universe telling me to just go. So I was planning that trip, and like any guy who's single and jobless, he gets on Tinder looking to satisfy the surface level insecurities that we all share. And so I met my current girlfriend there on the Tinder app. Oh, the heartache when you meet someone you fall for and then leave the country. I ended up coming back after 3 months. And to this day, it was probably the smartest choice I've made all along. It's still my intention to move to Chile. This time together. So we've been saving our money. Saving it in a savings account that we joined it together. Yeah, we've been diligent. We have a chance. We have a shot. It won't be too long now. That's what the lizard said when its tail fell off. Won't be long now. Does that bring us up to speed? If you've ever heard anyone talk about how especially young men in our society have such a hard time finding a purpose and a goal and a direction and something that their ambitions align with and their talents come together to mean something. That's very difficult in our society to come up with on your own, given all the confusion and chaos that our society is. Yeah, it is difficult. Well, I'm doing my best to sort of meld together my education in natural resource management, public administration, my experience in conservation and ecology, and my other skills, agricultural skills, and understanding of what resources are needed and are gonna be needed down the line. I can't put fish back in the sea. I also am not the best person to fight for the protection of wildlife and resources. I'm quiet. For me, it would make most sense if I try to put back some of the materials that are extracted from the natural world by industry and progress. For example, lumber. I want to get into this topic a bunch more from here on, but I wanted to, at least for if anybody was interested, I wanted to lay down the foundation for why I'm at this point. and why we're going this direction. So on the last trip that we went there, we met with a forestry professor at the University of Conception. And he had studied the prospect of cultivating paulownia trees in Chile as a natural resource. The outlook is good. The outlook is good. Join us. Join us. And then maybe, just maybe we can offset some of the burden that us human beings put on the planet and the natural world.